this project, I used 3 different types of yarn, which was purple, and I also used a 5.5mm crochet hook, a 5mm crochet hook. I also have some stitch markers, scissors, and then a tape measure so that you will be able to measure yourself while you're making this. All right, so let's get started. All right, so getting started, I'm going to take my 5mm hook, and I'm going to go ahead and make a slip knot. All right, and then I'm going to chain 1, chain 2, chain 3. All right, and we're going to yarn over, and we are going to go into the 3rd chain from the hook. So 1, 2, 3. I'm going to insert our hook, and then we're going to pull up a loop. All right, and then we're going to yarn over, and we are going to only pull through this first loop. And we have 3 loops on our hook, and then we're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull through all 3. All right, so what we are doing is we are creating a foundation chain. So on this side, it is going to be our stitches. This is going to be the top, and then this is going to be the bottom. So once we get that first one done, we're going to yarn over. On the bottom, we're going to go under these 2 loops here, yarn over, and we're going to pull up a loop. All right, so we're going to yarn over, and we're going to only pull through that first loop. So when we pull through that first loop, it is creating our base, and then we're going to finish with a half double crochet, which is yarning over and then pulling through all 3, and then we have our stitch here. Right, so we're going to yarn over again. We're going to go to the first stitch down here, and we're going to go under those 2 loops. Right, so again, we're going to be yarning over. It's not going to be here, but it's going to be right here. We're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull up a loop. And then we're going to yarn over, we're going to pull through the first loop, and then we're going to yarn over, and we're going to pull through all 3, making that half double crochet. All right, so we are going to repeat this. We are starting underneath the underarm, and so you want to measure from your underarm down to the bottom of your bust. So you're going to be measuring it from the side, but down to like the bottom of, like, right up under your under bust. So go ahead and measure that on yourself, and then finish off your foundation chain and just keep going until you have got those measurements, and then I will meet you guys back. All right, so I have reached the length of my underarm, the length that I wanted to be. It came to about 6 inches. I did 22 half double crochet foundation chains. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to chain 2, right? And then go ahead and get you a stitch marker, and you want to go ahead and put the stitch marker in on this side, because this is where we are going to be doing our increases, and so you don't get confused. All right, so after you chain 2, we're going to flip our work. We're going to slip stitch into the 2nd chain from the hook. So here is the first one, here is the 2nd one, here's the first, 2nd one. We're going to do a slip stitch. This is our slip stitch increase row, right? And then we're going to slip stitch into the base, and then we are going to continue to make slip stitches all the way down. And we are going to do back loop slip stitches. So back loop, slip stitches all the way down because we want that textured look. Right, so once you guys are done, I will meet you back once you make it to the end. All right, so I have made it to the end of my back loop slip stitch row, and I'm going to chain 2, flip our work. All right, so we're going to start this row. This is our increase row, so we're going to be doing a regular half double crochet, back loop, half double crochet. We're going to yarn over. We're going to go into that back loop. And we are going to complete a half double crochet. Right? Next stitch, we're going to be doing half double crochet. So half double crochet all the way down, and then I will meet you guys back on the last stitch, and we'll do that last stitch together. So go ahead and do back loop half double crochets until you have gotten to your last stitch, and then I will meet you guys back. All right, so I have worked my way all the way down, and I'm at the last stitch here. So again, this is our increase side, so we're going to do 2 half double crochets into that last stitch. Right, and now we're going to chain 2, turn our work. Right, we are still on our increase side, and this is going to be a slip stitch row. So again, we're going to work into the second stitch from the hook, the second chain from the hook, and we're going to do a slip stitch. Make sure you're making these loose so that you're able to work your half double crochets in here easily. And we're going to continue with our back loop slip stitches all the way down until we get to the end of the row. And I will meet you guys back once we are in our last slip stitch for this row. All right, so I have made it back down to the last stitch for the slip stitch. And again, this is going to be just a regular row when we're going back this way, because this is where our increase row is, increase side is. So from here, we're going to repeat the last 2 rows. So we finished this one with a slip stitch row, and then we're going to chain 2, and you're going to go back down with a back loop half double crochet row. Last stitch, you're going to do that increase, and then we are going to chain 2. You're going to do an increase for a slip stitch by slip stitching into the first chain, and then you're going to do back loop slip stitches going all the way down again. So we're going to repeat that until you get to where you want your strap to be. So this is how it would look. So it's going to be going up this way, and so you're going under the underarm, and then when you want to start your strap, that's where you're going to meet me back at. And make sure that you're ending on the top, wherever that's going to be. And so I will meet you guys back once we have once I have gotten to that length. All right, so I have made it back here at the top where we were going to be meeting at. So I have a total of 11 rows for the underarm portion, and then I'm going to be, we're going to go ahead and go into our strap. I did end, again, at the top, you're going to be ending on 2 half double crochet increase. So make sure you get that increase in there before we start the strap. All right, so I am going to chain 19. So you want to match this up against your body, and then see, you can chain as you need to, and then measure it out to make sure that it reaches the top of the shoulder for your strap. So mine was 19, so I'm gonna chain 19. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. All right, so what I'm going to do is we just ended on a half double crochet row, so we're going to start with our slip stitch row for the strap. So we're going to go into the second chain from the hook, okay, and we are going to make a slip stitch. No increases, no decreases, and we're going to slip stitch all the way down. So I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch the 19 chains that I just did, and then I'm going to meet you guys back once I get to the base. All right, so I have made it here. I did my actually be 18 my 18 slip stitches, and now I'm here at the base. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch into this first stitch here, and it's going to be a back loop slip stitch. Again, make sure those are a little loose so we're able to work our half double crochets in it. So no increases, no decreases. We're going to do a back loop half slip stitch all the way down, and I'll meet you guys back once we are at the bottom of our work. All right, so I've made it at the end of that slip stitch row. We're going to go ahead and chain 2, flip over, okay, and I'm going to work back loop half double crochets into these stitches, and we're going to go all the way down, and I will meet you at the top before we get off of the disconnect part. I'll meet you guys back up there. All right, so I have made it here to the top. All right, and so what we're going to do is we are going to continue working back loop half double crochets. And again, getting started, it may be a little difficult, but just keep working at it. So back loop half double crochets until we have reached the top. So once we have reached the top, we are going to repeat the last 2 rows that we have done, which would be the back loop slip stitch row and then back loop half double crochet row. And you are going to repeat this until you have reached the width that you want your strap to be. So whatever that is, whatever the width is that you want it to be, you're going to repeat this with no increases, no decreases. It's just going to be, after this one, we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do back loop slip stitch rows all the way down. Once we get to the bottom, you're going to chain 2, and then back loop half double crochets, and just continue to repeat that. Whatever your width is, make sure you end at the top. And so I will meet you guys back once you have completed your the width for your strap. All right, so I have finished my strap portion here. So what I'm gonna do is we are going to start on the bosom portion. So again, this is the strap. So what I did was I did put a stitch marker where I want to start the bosom portion, where I would be doing that. So I went down about 19 stitches, and then I put my stitch marker in a 19th stitch. So you can put your work up against you to see exactly where you want to have that stitch marker. You know, if you want your girls out, if you want them covered up, that's where you're going to place this. Is what's going to be going across your work. So I did end here at the bottom, and I ended on a slip stitch row. So I have about 22 total rows, and so I'm working on my 23rd row now. All right, so what we're gonna do is you're gonna chain 2, right, and then we're gonna do a half double crochet. All right, in the next stitch, we're going to be doing a back loop half double crochet. And you are going to repeat this all the way up until you get to your stitch marker. So once you get to the stitch marker, you are going to take that out, and then you're going to place a half double crochet in that as well. And then I will meet you guys back once you have reached that stitch marker. Okay, so I have made it here to the stitch marker. I just wanted to just kind of meet you guys here. So we're taking out this stitch marker, and I'm going to do my last half double crochet, back loop. All right, so from here, excuse me, from here we are going to chain 1. We're going to flip our work. All right, so we're going to start with our slip stitch. So we're going to do a back loop slip stitch. Again, make sure you're not doing it too tight for when we come back around for our half double crochet row. And you're going to repeat this row, just back loop, half double crochet. I'm sorry, back loop slip stitch. My apologies. So you're going to do a back loop slip stitch all the way down. We're not doing any increases or decreases. And you're going to repeat this until you get to the bottom. Once you get to the bottom, you are going to chain 2, turn your work, and you're going to do back loop half double crochets. And so you're going to repeat these 2 rows until you have reached the other side of your bosom, and then I will meet you guys back once you get there. All right, so I have finished the chest part. I have a total of 45 rows. So now what we're going to do is I am going to do the strap. And so it's basically everything that we did on this side, we are going to do on the other side as well. So here I had chained 19. So whatever your chain was, that's what you're going to do here. Once you chain your 19, since I ended on a half double crochet row, once we come back down, it's going to be a slip stitch row. So you're going to slip stitch back down, and once you get to the base, it'll be back loop slip stitches. You will repeat that for the same amount of rows for your strap. And then once you get those rows where you had your stitch marker, where we started at when we chained the 19 here, you are going to go ahead and start doing your decrease rows. And so on this side, we did an increase. So on this side, we are going to be decreasing to do that underarm portion. And then once you have the same amount of stitches on this side that you had on this side, then you will go ahead and chain 1. You will cut the yarn, and then I will meet you guys back for the next portion of this piece. All right, so I have finished the front panel. Again, you're going to do the strap, and basically the same thing you did on this side is the same thing you're going to do on that side. So that's going to be mirrored. So I do just want to go over how to do the back portion, which is similar to the front panel. So with the back panel, we are going to start the same way we did with the front panel, which is the underarm. And then as far as for the strap, what we're going to do is, instead of doing the strap, it's going to be a complete back panel from strap to strap. So this is how it's going to be. So the back panel, it's just going to be from the beginning of the strap to the end of the strap. And then you're going to finish it off with the underarm portion. And then you're going to cut your yarn, chain 1, cut your yarn from there. So next we are going to go ahead and join these 2 panels. So what you want to do is, so this is the right side of my work. As you see, it has these little ridges here. That's how you know this is the front. So we're going to turn it this way for the back, right? And then we're going to get our back panel, and you just put this on top of each other. So the front side, right side for both panels are going to be touching each other, and that's how you know you got it right, in order to be able to connect it. All right, so we're gonna start on this side here with, I'm gonna go ahead and get this sewn up. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with that. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and make our slip knot. And we're gonna go to the corner of each one of these, which would be that first stitch for both sides. All right, and we're gonna go ahead and attach our yarn. All right, and then we're going to chain up one. All right, so we're gonna go to the first stitch and we're gonna insert our hook. And then we're gonna go to the first stitch on the back panel and insert our hook, and I'm gonna work over this here. All right, and we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna do a single crochet. All right, so we're gonna go second stitch, insert your hook, second stitch for back panel, and we're gonna repeat this going all the way down with inserting our hook in the front panel and the back panel and doing a single crochet. So you're gonna do this on both sides to go ahead and seam up the sides of the underarm portion. So I will meet you guys back with what to do next once you have gotten both of those sides hemmed up. All right, so I got the side seamed up here. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and seam up the top of the straps. So you're gonna keep it still with the wrong side up front, facing you. And we're gonna go ahead and get this seamed up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a slip knot. And you're just gonna insert your hook at the top in the corner. And we're gonna go ahead and chain one. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and go into this half double crochet row here. And then we're gonna do the same on the back side. And again, I'm working over the tail. I'm gonna do a single crochet. And then we're gonna go in this little bumpy row here. We're gonna do the same in the back. We're going through that bumpy row at the top. We're gonna do a single crochet. And so you're gonna repeat this for both sides, for this side and then also for the other strap in connecting it. And while we're connecting, I do just want to let anyone who is doing this tutorial know that it doesn't matter if this is your first piece, your first time doing a big piece like this, or if it's your 50th time, just know that everything is, it's not going to always come out perfect. As long as it fits you, that's all that matters. So you don't have to worry about things coming out perfectly, as long as it's perfect for you. Now, if you're doing it for, you know, if you're making this dress for someone else, you know, just get your measurements. Always do a prototype. You know, put the spin on it, whatever it is that you feel that you need to do, but don't beat yourself up if it doesn't come out perfect, because mine doesn't always come out perfect, but it's perfect for me. So that's what matters. All right, so once you guys finish up with both of those straps, I will meet you guys back, and then we'll kind of go to what we need to do next. All right, so we are done seaming up the sides and the straps. So now what we're going to do is, this is the bottom of my work here. This is the top, and this is the bottom. Again, right side up is how we're going to be working. Go ahead, and we are still working with the dark purple here, what we did the top part of our piece with. We're going to go to the side, and we're going to go ahead and insert our hook anywhere on the side that you choose. All right, and we're going to chain up one. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go in this bumpy part, and we are going to do a single crochet. Right, and then we're going to go in our half double crochet row, and we're going to do a single crochet. All right, again, we're going to go on our slip stitch row. We're going to do a single crochet. We're going to repeat this pattern all the way around, and once you've gotten around, go ahead and chain up 1 and cut, and I'll meet you back for how we're going to start the next part of this project. Alright, so I have did that single crochet row all the way around for the bottom of my piece. So what we're going to do is we're going to go back to the side of our piece, and we're going to be working with the amethyst is the color that I have, so it's going to be like the second darkest purple that we're going to be working with. So go ahead and make your slip knot, and you are going to attach it here at the base of your work. All right, and you're going to chain up 1. Okay, so from here, you want to chain the length that you want, like the center piece to go. So it would kind of be like the belt of the project, what we're going to be doing. This is going to go underneath for the underbust, and then this part is going to be before we start the other part here. So I wanted to do 4 inches. And so I am going to chain up 4 inches. Again, whatever length that you want yours to be, then that's what you chain. All right, so we got a little bit to go, and I am going to kind of stretch mine out a little bit. So again, you're just measuring those 4 inches. So right here will be about 4 inches. I'm gonna have to take just a few off. I'll probably just do 2, so that should be enough for me. Also take into consideration that we are going to be working into the second chain from the hook. So when you get your 4 inches, you can add 2 more chains just to make sure you got it properly right. So second chain from hook, we're going to be doing a half double crochet. And we're going to repeat doing a half double crochet into each chain until you have gotten down to the base. And I'll show you what we're going to do once we get down there. So go ahead and just work with me here, doing a half double crochet into each chain. And I'm still working with my 5mm crochet hook as well. Okay, and while we're getting down here to the bottom, I just appreciate you guys joining me today. Make sure you like and subscribe on this video. Subscribe to my channel so I can continue putting out fun tutorials for us to work on together here. All right, so I have gotten to that last stitch with the half double crochet. What we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch into the base in that next stitch, All right, and then we're going to slip stitch into the second. So this is just attaching it, and then this is stepping up to prepare for us to do our half double crochet. So from here, we're going to flip our work here. All right, so remember we just slipped stitch twice into the base, so that's 1, 2, and this is the one that we're going to be working in. So we have 1, 2 where we slip stitch, and we're going to be working in back loop here. So we're going to yarn over, we're going to do a back loop half double crochet. All right, and then we're going to repeat this all the way down. We're doing back loop half double crochets. All right, so once we get to the end of this, we are going to chain 2, and we're going to work our way back down doing half double crochets. And then once we get to the base, we are going to slip stitch into the next 2 stitches. We're going to flip our work, and we're going to repeat this all the way around, doing back loop half double crochets. So then once you have gotten all the way around, I will meet you guys back so we can get prepared for our next step of what we need to do. And make sure you're trying it on to make sure it fits how you want it to fit. If it is too loose, then you can, once you do that single crochet row here, you can do some decreases to try to get a little bit thinner for you if you need to do that. Hopefully it's not too big, otherwise you're gonna have to take the sides down and then make sure that you got that right. But just make sure you're trying it on as you go to fit you, or if you're making it for someone else, then just make sure you got their measurements right, and then checking to make sure that when you are chaining certain areas that they are you know, that you're either stretching the yarn to make sure that it's going to fit, or you are you know, if you don't want it to be stretched, they want it to feel a little bit looser, that's fine as well. So you guys go ahead and finish that, and then I will meet you back. Alright, so I have made it back around and I got this second portion done. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and seam this up here. So you can flip your work inside out to do it. I just tend to kind of turn it around this way, and then I just kind of work in between. Okay. Alright, so we're going to chain up 1 and just put that, go ahead and line that up. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to go into the first stitch on this side, and then the first stitch on this side, and we're going to do a single crochet. Alright, and then we're going to go into the next stitch, the next stitch on that side, and you're going to continue doing this for each side until you are at your last stitch, and then you're going to chain up 1 and cut, and I'll meet you guys back for the next portion of what we're going to be doing. Okay, so I chained up 1, cut, and now we are at the bottom of our work. So what we're going to do is we're going to find the side again, and we're going to go ahead with our next part. So I'm going to go ahead, I will be using my dark purple for this row. And we're going to go ahead and connect, make your slip knot, connect, and we're going to chain up 1. Alright, so now we are going to do a single crochet into the first little row here. So this is our half double crochet row. So we're going to do one single crochet here. I'm also going to be working over my tail. Alright, and we're going to go to the next row. We're going to do a single crochet. Alright, and we're going to go to the next row, and we're going to do a single crochet. And you're going to repeat this all the way around. For each row, you're going to make a single crochet. And I'll meet you guys back once you have came all the way around with finishing off your single crochets for each row. Alright, so I have made it back around with my single crochet row for my dark purple. So now we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, and we're going to start on the next row. Alright, so we are going to do a chain of 2, and in this first stitch we're going to make a half double crochet. Alright, next stitch we are going to make a half double crochet. Right, and then we're going to make another half double crochet into that same stitch. Right, third stitch, we're going to do a half double crochet. We're going to do another half double crochet into that same stitch. All right, next stitch, we're going to do 1 half double crochet. Next stitch, we're going to make 2 half double crochets into that. All right, next stitch, we're going to make 2 half double crochets, and we are going to repeat this pattern around. So it's going to be 1 half double crochet, and then we're going to do an increase of 2 half double crochets, and you're going to do that twice. So it's 1 half double crochet, second stitch, 2 half double crochets, third stitch, 2 half double crochets, and you're going to repeat that all the way around. And I will meet you guys back once we have went all the way around. I'll meet you guys back here. All right, so I have made it back around. So we're going to go ahead and slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. All right, and then we're going to chain 2. All right, so what we're going to do is first stitch, we're going to go ahead and do a half double crochet into the first stitch. All right, and second stitch, we're going to do 2 half double crochets. Third stitch, we're going to do 2 half double crochets. Okay, and then we're going to repeat that pattern of 1 half double crochet in the first stitch, 2 half double crochet in the second stitch, 2 half double crochet in the third stitch. So we're doing a repeat of the previous row that we just did, and then I will meet you guys back once you have completed that. All right, so I've made it back around for my second row, and as you can see, you're going to start seeing that ruffle effect kind of come into play here. So what we're going to do is go ahead and slip stitch to the top of the chain 2. All right, and then we're going to chain 2. All right, so first stitch, we're going to make a half double crochet. All right, second stitch, we're going to make a half double crochet. And we are going to repeat 1 half double crochet into each stitch. We are not increasing anymore. So 1 half double crochet into each stitch, and then I will meet you guys back around at the end of this row. All right, so I have made it back around. So I have done 6 rows, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the half double crochet into each stitch. So 1 half double crochet into each stitch, and I did 6 rows of that. So now I am going to change colors. So I have not slip stitched into my chain 2 yet, so I'm going to show you how to go ahead and add that your next color, what you're going to be doing. So we are going to go into these loops here that holds this loop. So you're going to go into all 3 of those loops. All right, and I am going to get my lighter purple here. And then this is the orchid. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and make a slip knot, and I'm going to attach. I'm going to pull through all 3 of those loops. Then I'm going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 2. Right, and then I'm going to chain 2. All right, so we can go ahead and pull the other yarn and just kind of tighten it up there. I'm going to work a little bit over the yarn here that I just pulled, and I'm also going to work over this tail as well. So we're going to be going into the first stitch, and we're going to do a half double crochet. Okay, we're going to go into the next stitch, and we're going to do a half double crochet. And we are going to continue doing half double crochets. So with our previous row, we had the two special increase rows that we did, and then I did 6 half double crochet rows. So we're going to do a total of 8 half double crochet rows with this color. So go ahead and do the 8 half double crochet rows with your new color. I'm going to go ahead, since I came to the end of the orchid tail, I'm going to go ahead and cut this one. And we're just going to finish doing 1 half double crochet into each stitch, and we're going to do 8 rows of these, and then I will meet you guys back once you have done those 8 rows. All right, so I have did my 8 rows here with this color, and then I chain up 1 and cut. I did 8 more rows for this color, and then I also added some white here. So I did 3 rows with the white, and then I went back and I switched back to this color, and I did 8 rows, and then I finished off with that previous color that I showed you guys. And I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I did 6 rows with that. So go ahead and do the length that you want. Switch up your colors as much as you need to, and then we will go to the next step. All right, so now what you guys want to do is you are going to attach the yarn. So we can start here. You're going to attach the yarn right side up here, and then we are going to do a single crochet row around it just to kind of make it look a little bit neater. And we're also going to go and we're going to do the armpits as well. So go ahead and do that single crochet around the collar, and then also around the armholes to go ahead and make it look a little bit nicer. All right, so now what we're going to work on is we're going to work on our belt portion of it. So go ahead and make a slip knot, and I'm using this color. You can use whichever color that you choose, whichever one that you used while you were doing your project. So what we're going to do is we are going to chain the length that goes around our waist. So I chained about 120. So that's what you guys can do. You can either do that, or as I said, just kind of measure around your waist, and then that's what you're going to chain that length. So go ahead and do that, and then I will meet you guys back for our final part for the project. All right, so once you have chained the length of your waist, so I have already kind of put my belt in. I left a few out so I can kind of show you how to do it. So you're going to insert it on either side, and then once you have inserted it, you're just going to kind of go through each one of these bumps here. So as you see the little bumps here, the rows, and you can do it in the center. I did mine a little bit towards the bottom, but if you want to do the center, you can. And I just pulled it through. So I just got my hook, my crochet hook, and just pulled it through each little row, each bump. And I tried to stay as consistent as I could as far as going around. So you insert it in the middle of your work, and then you can go this way or you can start this way, whichever way you choose. But just get it going all the way around. All right, and then once you have made it around, you can go ahead and just tie it. And you can try to work on first if you would like to, and then you can tie it and you can pull it as tight as you want. And then there we go. So we are completely finished with our work here, and this is just what mine looks like. And so I hope you guys enjoyed doing this tutorial with me. I will have another one coming out next week, so I hope you guys stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of my videos. I have some really nice dresses and skirt sets coming out that I'll be doing. So I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I will see you guys on the next tutorial.